Welcome to the Willow Creek online training program. Today's module is entitled, What to Do After an Earthquake. So the purpose of this module, as I just mentioned, is to discuss what to do after an earthquake. Sometimes we think, oh, the shaking's over, I finally made it, but there's a lot of other things that you need to be aware of, and that's what we're going to discuss in this module. The material in this module is taken directly from the Red Cross's Earthquake Safety Checklist, and you can download that from the website in PDF format if you desire to do so. The Red Cross organization gave us permission to use this information and to distribute that safety checklist. So what should I do after an earthquake? After an earthquake, the disaster may continue. Expect and prepare for potential aftershocks, landslides, or even a tsunami. I don't think we need to worry about tsunamis so much in the Willow Creek neighborhood, but just so you're aware of it, tsunamis are often generated by earthquakes, so there you go. The problem with an earthquake, I think, is when an earthquake happens, you're also highly likely to experience fire due to broken gas lines, etc., and electrical problems, and flooding, not this kind of flooding necessarily along the Wasatch Front, but flooding from broken water pipes, and it can cause a lot of damage. So you have electricity, fire, and flooding, and that's a bad combination. So we kind of have to be ready for all of that. Remember, each time you feel an aftershock, what do? Drop, cover, and hold on. Go for the ride. It'll be over here shortly. And we've reviewed that pretty well, I think. Aftershocks frequently occur minutes, days, weeks, or even months following an earthquake. So you still have to be on your guard after the shaking stops. For up to a month, they say. First, after the shaking stops, check yourself for injuries and get first aid, and if necessary, before helping injured or trapped persons. Let me read that again. Check yourself for injuries and get first aid, if necessary, before helping injured or trapped persons. You always have to remember to help yourself first, because if you go to help someone and you're bleeding all over, then you pass out from a loss of blood, guess what? Now we have to spend more resources to help you out of there along with everyone else. So take care of yourself first. I know when you fly in a plane, what do they say? The oxygen mask drops down, and they say get yourself situated first, then help others. It's all for the same types of reasons. Put on long pants, a long sleeve shirt, sturdy shoes, and work gloves to protect against injury from broken objects. Oftentimes there's broken glass, broken tree limbs, and so you want a good sturdy pair of shoes. Sturdy meaning let me put it this way, flip-flops are not sturdy shoes, okay? They should have a heavy sole and everything so it doesn't poke through quite as easily. A little bit of ankle protection would probably also be a good thing. All right, look quickly for damage in and around your home. So here you are, you had a little first aid, okay, we're good to go. Now, and you help people around you. Now you look quickly for damage in and around your home. Notice it says quickly there. For damage in or around your home, and get everyone out of your home if your home is unsafe. So get everyone out of your home if your home is unsafe. Listen to a portable, battery-operated, hand-cranked radio for updated emergency information and instructions. And these are really pretty inexpensive little machines there. So that's important. Check the telephones in your home or workplace to see if you can get a dial tone. It's another thing you should do. Make sure you can get some calls out. But make brief calls to report life-threatening emergencies. Notice it says life-threatening emergencies. The phones are going to be over capacity anyway, so if you have to get in on there, only do so to report life-threatening emergencies. Look for and extinguish small fires. Remember, we could have gas leaks and electricity. Electricity that's shorted out makes a great source to light those fires. So look for small and extinguish small fires. Notice what it says there. This is on purpose. Extinguish what kind of fires? Small. There's been many people they found dead in homes with a fire extinguisher in their hand. Okay, they're just meant for small fires, so don't try to put out the big ones. If they're big ones, just get out of there, get your loved ones out of there, and don't go back in. It's not worth it. Fire is the most common hazard after an earthquake, so it's important to keep that in mind. Now let's go watch this YouTube video. You can also watch it later if you'd like. There's a link. But let's, for right now, go and listen to this. It will give us the basics of how to use a fire extinguisher. Now I would suggest you still go get more training. Usually the local fire department gives training where you can do actual hands-on. Nothing makes up for hands-on training. So let's go watch that video now.
The time to learn how to use your fire extinguisher is not when you discover a fire. But if the time does come, remember to pass. P. Pull the pin. Hold the extinguisher away from you and release the locking mechanism. A. Aim low, pointing the extinguisher at the base of the fire. S. Squeeze the lever slowly and evenly. S. Sweep the nozzle from side to side. You will see different categories of extinguisher, but combination fire extinguishers that can put out anything from an oil to an electrical fire, labeled ABC, are best for home protection because it's hard to predict what will be burning. You need one of these multi-purpose fire extinguishers on each level of your home. For added protection, keep an ABC extinguisher in your garage and a small one in your car. And a small extinguisher specifically for kitchens should be mounted on the wall. Consumer Reports tests show that heavier extinguishers deliver retardant more quickly and for a longer time. So buy the largest ones you can comfortably handle.
All right, very good. Now that we know the basics of how to operate a fire extinguisher and know that we're only going to go after those small fires, clean up spilled medications, bleach, gasoline, or other flammable liquids immediately so they haven't found a source to get them started. And so let's get those cleaned up before we have more problems. Open closet and cabinet doors carefully as contents may have shifted. That makes sense. Help people who require special assistance such as infants, children, the elderly, or disabled. So be aware of that, and I'm sure you are aware of the people in your house that may need extra help. But don't forget them at this time. It's easy to get distracted. And so that's why we brought that up. Watch out for fallen power lines or broken gas lines and stay out of damaged areas. That's what it's going to look like, a gas line. You can see that pipe just destroyed. Look at all those live wires going on. That's probably was the ignition source, and it just torches up like that. So be aware that you could experience some of those things. Keep animals under your direct control, please. Stay out of damaged buildings. Okay, if it's a damaged building, you want to stay out of there. If you're away from home, okay, now you're away from home, return only when authorities say it is safe to do so. At this time, with the whole city kind of confused and going a little bit crazy perhaps, we want to keep things toned down as much as possible. So again, only return when authorities say it is safe to do so. Use extreme caution and examine walls, floors, doors, staircases, and windows to check for damage. Be careful when driving after an earthquake and anticipate traffic light outages. It's very common, so be aware that that could happen. Realize what we're doing here. We're trying to build a memory in your mind, a picture in your mind of what you're going to see in an earthquake. That's a good way to prepare for it. Then when you see it, you won't be so surprised. You kind of expect it. Well, congratulations. You have almost completed this module. However, remember, you still need to complete that module exam. All right, congratulations. You have completed this module. Remember to always think ahead, be prepared, be safe, and you've got it, be happy. Thank you and have a great day. Goodbye.